go too deep in it. But I want to see from anyone who's tuned in, what is your experience with deja vu as you know it? And have you ever experienced that where you're experiencing something that has not happened yet? So it's almost like you're telling the future a little bit. Like it was crazy. Like it was really, really crazy because it was very, very, no pun intended, it was very, very vivid experience where I'm just like,
what's the name of that movie that Sandra Bullock was in? Was it Premonition? Is that a little bit closer to what we're? I don't know. I can say this. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but I am a dreamer.
okay.
I have all kinds like dreams about all kinds of things. I've never talked about it out loud though. So when you said that, I was like, all right, so like I'm not the only one that's experienced this before.
Bruh.
You have like see, she's
Kind of crazy.
it's weird.
And
It's,
like the crazy thing is like, I don't know if you remember, but I was pointing at people and I was like, yeah, like, yo, like in the dream, I met her over there. Like, yo, and this person was this. And I was
did you
calling
remember
out
her
what,
name?
huh?
Did you remember her name?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't remember her name, but I had pointed to someone and I was like, in the dream, I have a conversation with that person. So the whole night I was just like, all right, let me fall back and make sure I don't have a conversation with this person. And it was just like, it was insane, bro. Like it's just crazy to think about that way. But then it goes back to like, I talk to you all the time about like writing, right? I'm an author. I have my own self-published books. And being a dreamer is usually how I end up coming up with like, oh, that'll be a dope story to write, is like I have a dream and I just like write it down when I wake up and then I'm like, oh, let me expound on it and then like just write it as a book. Like that's how I wrote We Missed a Meeting. That's how I wrote like A Boy Bathed in Blood. Like that's how I do it sometimes. So it's just like you said, you just don't know that other people are experiencing something. And then you also don't know that like it has a whole name and there's like research about it and all that kind of stuff. So it was crazy. What has your experience with Deja Reve been? I feel like that word is so awkward.
Well, it is awkward, and I can't think of a specific off the top of my head. I mean, we might have to come back to it because I gotta think.
Have you ever had a dream from a very, very long time ago that you still remember today?
Of course.
What do you care to
No,
elaborate? No?
no.
Okay. Okay. Are your dreams like that crazy? Do y'all be having like crazy,
I
crazy
have
dreams?
I have had the craziest dreams where there have been friends from multiple friend groups in the dream, and I don't know why. Um, okay. I see, and I don't know if this was a deja vu. I literally just remembered as I'm saying that. But I thought it was related to whatever was going on in my life at the time.
Mm.
Um, hold on. Absolutely, there are so many layers here,
Layers.
though, because you can go so many ways with this, such as spirituality into it. Well,
I agree. I feel like it's one of those things that's just like kind of like every now and then you and I have a conversation where we're like, are we gonna go that deep? Like, are we gonna go existential with this? Are we gonna go spiritual with like, are we gonna go that deep? And I feel like you can't talk about dreams without like kind of bringing the whole backpack where you're like, I'm going to bring some spirituality, some intuition, some scientific research, even though there's not a lot of scientific research on dreams. Like you just have to bring all of that into it. And it's like, I think of things like, you know, going spirituality and religion. Like there's people in the Bible who have like revelations and things like that. And it's just like, we're not, I don't think we could say that we're just like above
mm,
having those kind of situations. It's just odd. I'm trying to think of another situation where I do remember another. I was on a date in 2021, right? And like I had never been to this place ever. It was in Coconut Grove, Miami, right? And like I started looking around and I was like, yo, same kind of feeling, like, yo. And so the waitress comes over and I was just like, yo, I got a quick question. On the second floor, is there like a what is it called? Not a balcony, but like a look like a
Patio?
terrace. Like a terrace.
Um,
I was like, is there a terrace on the second floor with like pots and palm trees up there and a window and a sliding glass? And the girl was like, yeah, we rent those out as like a room. And I was like, is there also like a rooftop area where y'all can do parties? And she was like, yeah. Why? Have you ever been here before? And I was just like, kind of like, like, this is weird. Like, no, I've never been here before. But like I had seen that place in a dream. And like dreams are very interesting to me. Like I always talk about them because it just weirds me out sometimes. But I feel like everyone can speak on dreams, but I feel like we choose not to. You get what I'm saying? Like there's always like someone is always like, oh, let me stop right there because I don't want to say anything.
because it gets weird. You're looking at your friend, and your friend's looking at you, and you're like, what is happening right? Like, why are we talking about this? Where is it going? Like the the dream that I'm thinking of is just too deep. It is so personal that I can't even begin to unpack it because it was just so many layers in it that I felt like I felt like I ended up still experiencing, but not all at the same time. It was like, if you see a scene in a movie, that scene happens.
Yeah.
And then you go to the next scene and there's different people in the scene.
Yeah.
But in my dream, the scenes were together. And I don't know. This is I don't know.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I don't want to lose the chat either. I don't want
to I honestly feel like everyone can say that they have had, like, I still think about the fact that, like, research, right? Research is like, yeah, when you're having a dream, you don't see people's faces. And it's just like, well, I know my mom's face and I know that my mom was in my dream. Like, what do you mean I don't see faces? So it's just things like that. And it's like,
I will say this. So like I'll give a piece. Like my mom was in this particular dream and she was talking and I heard everything she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another person in the dream
who
was talking, but my mom couldn't hear what they were saying. I could hear everything that each of them were, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
That's crazy.
I don't know.
That is very crazy.
It's very strange.
I was gonna the weird thing that I have in my dreams, and this is probably how I knew I was gonna end up being a writer, right? And like someone who just loves stories and stuff like that. Because even now to date, I'm not always the main character in my dream. That's crazy. Like that has always. You're never.
You know what? I don't even know if I'm always I don't even know if I'm always in the dream. Honestly, I'm having dreams and I'm watching other people. And I wake up and I'm like, what is going on? What does this mean? I always want to know what it means, but I don't talk about it out loud. Like I might mention it to my therapist and she will ask some other deep question and I can't answer it. And I don't know what to do with it after that.
Yeah, I've had dreams that legit start like I don't know, like the dream just starts and like I guess at some point maybe I'll look at the hands or it's from third person point of view or something like that. But I just realized that I'm not the main character in the dream. Yeah. So we got a comment from
this is good.
Share. I've experienced deja vu. Not sure if it was from dreams. However, my dreams have revealed partners' infidelities, sadly, both times. That's the hardest kind of people to date, boy. I know you was at that bitch house. Damn. Can't even lie. She dreamed about it. Sometimes I'm in a dream, but it's like I'm watching myself. Yes, the third person
dream. Oh,
like you playing GTA and it's your body moving, but you're not seeing through your dreams are weird, dog. Like dreams. And then of course you have movies like Inception, which I love the movie Inception because it like broke down what dreams were. And then you have, which like they broke it down so well that it's just like, was this based off of research or did you just write a script and you were just high? Like I just never really know. But then you also have like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I don't know if you remember, where they basically said like when you're dreaming, you're experiencing the life of a multiverse version of you,
Mm-hmm.
which lines up with that dream you talking about. Because if like you could hear two people who couldn't hear each other, which is like,
And it was two separate scenes. It was two. It was insane, and it happened, and I was like,
that's crazy. You remember that though. That
well,
sounds like a lot to remember. Waking
because
up
it
from
was
it.
my life at the time.
I see. I see. I
Yeah,
see.
it's easy.
I remember this is probably the craziest dream that I've had from like a long time ago. Where I dreamt it was during Hurricane Floyd, which if you're from Florida, I'll just tell you Hurricane Floyd was like 1998, 1999. And there was one of those crazy dreams that was just like, all right, I don't know what this meant, but whatever. There was a mermaid in the pool, and the mermaid had a rope around her. So like as she's flailing in the pool, the rope is like dragging on the floor around the pool. I grab the rope, right? The mermaid jumps out like a dolphin. And of course,
You did
because
that
I'm